And a few long breaths here. You might come into your ujjayi breath, nice little throat contraction. Good. One more. Feeling breath, moving your body in space. As you're inhaling next, take your arms overhead and notice what's your right height. These don't have to be by the ears. They could be out in a wonderful V. I'm just going to ask you to stand there for 3 breaths. Feel a little heat building. Neck is easy. It's not doing the work here. One more breath. And then slowly float down. Shoulder circles. Again, nice wide stance with the feet. Arms are straight out. We're going to clamp our fingers in towards the palm and then kind of cinch it with our thumbs. Thumbs are facing straight forward. Shoulders sliding down. Slow circles forward. Breathing. Now, for some, this is just kind of good work. You're like, by the time we do about 15 more, you feel some heat in there. And some of us will notice, though, wow, one side's a lot weaker. This is intense. Be really interested in what you can find here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, breathing, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Give it a little shake out. And now we're going to do the arm circles, but backwards. So you clamp the fingers into the palm again, cinch with the thumb. And this time the thumb is rotating back. So up and then back as far as you can with the thumb, creating a nice straight arm. You're pushing out through the fists. Join me in small circles backward with breath, with awareness. Occasionally looking out over the arm to check that you're maintaining straight arm, ideally shoulder height. If that hurts, adjust it. Nice small circles. 10, 9, 8, you can do it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Good work. Forward fold, ragdoll. Let that head just hang. Let the shoulders hang. So again, the shoulder blade sliding up by the head. And just moving a little bit right and left. Let your arms kind of sweep around the feet. Nice deep breath here. Big inhales. Exhale, compressing all the breath out. You can rise halfway up on fingertips or hands on shins if you'd like for the inhale. Exhale, deepen again. One more. Inhaling, rise halfway up. Exhaling, sit to chair. Inhaling, sweep up, big glute squeeze. Maybe the hands touch, maybe they don't. Exhaling, fold. Empty, empty, empty. Inhaling halfway up. Is there more? Exhaling, sit to chair. Inhaling, root and rise. Maybe adding a little back bend if that doesn't bother the neck. And exhaling, swan dive again to your forward fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling, sit to chair. Neck is relaxed. Inhaling, root and rise up. Exhaling, prayer hands. Coming into Yoga Mudra, intertwining the hands behind the back. If this is too much stretch, then grab a strap and something you can hold between the hands. First, engaging the fists down towards the floor. Again, if you can't straighten the arms, grab a strap or a belt or something. Next, just breathing here. Allow the breath to stretch through the front. A lot of what makes our shoulders unhappy and unhealthy is being so tight through that front body. Feel that stretch. Then, as you're ready, if you can, press the hands off of the butt and hold for another round of breath. You could also rotate your ribs a little left and a little right. And I love how this gives me a little massage behind the shoulder blade. So good. One more long breath in. Exhaling, fold. Take your feet nice and wide, bend the knees, and take those arms up overhead. And again, if you're using a strap, widen those hands as far as you need to get them to really come up and over and get that stretch. And releasing. Come on up. We're going to bring the right arm across for thread the needle. Left hand goes on the elbow and draws the upper arm towards the body. Nice deep inhalation here. See if you can feel it in your back ribs. My hope is you're also feeling a stretch through the front of that shoulder, deltoid area. One more. And we'll switch. Left arm across, hand at about the elbow. If you go higher, you won't get the stretch that we are seeking. It should feel really good. You can also activate that left arm to be really straight. Deepening the breath. What's in there? And release. Nice. Inhale, root and rise up. Exhaling, fold. We're going to plant the hands and I'm going to step back to plank. Now, if this is too much, you can come into your forearm plank instead, and we can also do this on knees. Check that you've got your palms right below the shoulders if you're on your hands, and engage those shoulder heads powerfully down so that you can feel the scapula anchoring towards the hips. And just hold here with me for about half a dozen breaths. So even though we're holding an intense active pose, we want to feel breath inside and hopefully massaging some of those tight spaces. Notice thoughts, return to breath attention. Let's do one more. And opportunity to press back, downward facing dog. Deep exhale. You can always add a sighing breath. And begin just pedaling out those feet, working one heel towards the floor, then the other. And then we're just going to check in with our shoulders here. We've got two choices, and one is to kind of bring your shoulder heads up and shoulder blades up towards the ears, and the other is down the back. Go ahead and try that out. If you kind of shrug your upper arms, internally rotate, and if you draw down the back, you can externally rotate the upper arms. Notice which feels better to you. In the long run, I like the external rotation. It really releases the neck. Check it out. Maybe wave your head around right and left. One more deep breath here if you can. And then release. Child's pose. You can take those knees nice and wide. You should feel some good heat from that position. And now I want to offer a posture adding in that yoga mudra. And the cool thing is you don't have to add that. So if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. You're going to start with your forehead on the floor, hands just to kind of the outside of the face area. And I want you to just roll forward towards the top of the head and back to your forehead. And this can be just a lovely scalp massage if you've just had too much going on in your head lately. And then if it doesn't bother your neck, you're just going to kind of hold in the position where you're on the top of the head. And then I'm going to intertwine my fists here and once again encourage them up towards the sky. And again, you can go a little right and left with the rib cage. Very slow, very curious. We don't want to go fast and make something unhappy. And release. And now we're going to take those arms forward. And I'm starting with the butt closer to the heels, but to get more of a stretch, you just kind of scooch a little forward at a time. You don't want to ever come with the hips forward of the knees. We're in our puppy stretch, and it should feel good. Ideally, the arm is not touching the floor at all. If this bothers your neck, you could place a block underneath the forehead for support. Let breath shift you, lift you, sink you. Big inhales and exhales giving into gravity. Again, you can get organic, go a little right and left. And I'm going to offer one little add-on, walking your hands towards each other and then just letting the elbows come down to the floor. Invitation to bring your hands into prayer hands and let the thumbs touch your upper back. Adjust your elbows as close or far from the head as feels good. And release. Nice long inhale. Exhaling. Nice cat back. Powerful core. And come on up. We're going to do one more little shoulder fun. It's a nice way to release shoulders and chronic tension. You start in table. And you're going to come down on your right forearm for some resistance stretching. You're the one creating the resistance. So you're going to traction down and back with that forearm. Make sure the shoulders engage down and the ear core is in and supported. Nice long inhale. Exhaling, traction down and back with the arm as you slowly send the hips back towards the heel. Inhaling, return to your neutral. Exhaling, traction, and down and back we go. Always give yourself a moment to soften on the inhale and then exhale. Recreate that powerful tractioning. And you might just settle here on our last round, kind of sinking towards the floor, enjoying the stretch that's available. And we'll come to the other side. Other forearm comes down a little bit towards center. Nice long inhale. Make sure that core is there. Exhaling, tractioning down and back with the forearm and settling the hips back towards the heels. Inhaling, return to neutral. So the slower that you can go with your breath, the better. It doesn't matter how far back you get. We just want to feel the stretch. We want to feel some of the release in our fascia. And depending on how much tension you're storing there, it could be quite intense or just not that big of a deal. Is this side different? Settling in, and releasing into your child's pose. 3 breaths of awareness. See if you can massage that whole back body with your breath. I hope you've gotten a little heat in this practice and that you've discovered some new things about your shoulders and made them healthier along the way. Thanks so much for joining me for this practice. Have an awesome day.